Good evening. Sorry to get any filming done today at work, but it was kind of a bit, kind of got a bit crazy at the old warehouse today. Wolfie got there around, I think around 11 o'clock or so, and we haven't seen each other in a month, so you got to catch up for about an hour. I had lunch, and then basically dove into finishing up the manifest. There was a bunch of gear from other people in the crew who didn't quite have their manifest done or turn in, which neither of us knew was the case. So we had to go through other racks, other people's stuff, get that done, and then start planning our pack for South America. I hate to say this, but I made a bet that we'd be totally fine in this pack and it'd all fit like butter with our base tech. And as he told me when we were making this bet, he's like, "Oh man, you know the last stuff. You know what'll happen." I'm like, "No, we're good to go." And I got in there today. There was about 4 more cases that I hadn't counted on, 4 very large cases, and there's a couple more coming. So it's going to be an interesting pack when we try to shoehorn this stuff into a sea container. And I'm really hoping it goes well, because there's nothing worse than trying to pack for a sea container and realizing you don't have enough room, because that can throw off budgets and all that stuff. And yeah, so fingers crossed that when we start loading this thing up, we're fine and we manage to get it all in. Had a couple of questions, comments last couple days I didn't quite address. Gwen had asked me about the rock cruise. I misinterpreted that, thinking she was asking about the Def Leppard cruise that happened was it last year, 2 years ago. It's all blur. 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. So it's literally just a giant blur at this point. A year and a half ago. That was, as you guys all know, was just hell on the high seas, and she was actually asking about. I guess it's been reported. I don't know anything about this, so bear with me if I'm completely talking out my butt here. That Rick is doing a rock cruise in February, where he's bringing his artwork and doing a gallery show, some sort of VIP thing, and there's something about him performing. I literally know about this with that, not much, other than what I've been told by one of the fans here. So, and I maybe heard some of this earlier in the year, or somebody might mention something, but for all I know, it could have been another band member asking about doing this, or one of the people from the other bands. So I was being asked if I was going to go do this thing. I don't know. Like I said, no one's asked me from management or production or Rick. I got to give Rick a shout and find out if this is actually happening. I do know that his gallery show went really well on the cruise that we did with the Leopard cruise. And it was quite successful, and so he might be doing that and doing some sort of VIP experience. If he's playing, I would assume I'd be there, but depending on the kit. If he's sitting in on acoustics, then there's really not much reason for me to be there, because any tech can throw a acoustic kit for him. And the guys who are generally on the cruise ships are perfectly capable backline guys. If we're sending out a sea rig, then I would pretty much guarantee I would be there to deal with that, just because it's a pretty complicated thing to plug in, and build. But we'll see. I won't turn down the work because I like working. However, I'm not crazy with the idea of going on our cruise. I sort of just, as you guys watched yesterday, I did not enjoy that last one. What else was inquired about, though? Let's see. I think that was the big question. Oh, and Mr. Mike Finch had asked me if I wanted a Yamaha shirt. Actually, I can probably get one from the Yamaha rep. I'll probably see him next week. I was just kind of joshing a little bit. The thing is, I truly don't wear logo shirts. Like the Zildjian shirt, which I'm still wearing, I enough. I basically woke up wearing this morning, went to work, and I don't know, I should go through the wash. It's like the only logo shirt I ever really wear. I'm just not a logo shirt guy. It's not a thing. For some reason, the Zildjian logo just seems kind of cool, and and I had a lot of people asking me if I'm a drummer, which is very flattering because I'm really not a good drummer. Actually, to say I'm a bad drummer is an insult to bad drummers. I can play a beat. That's about it. Also, was curious if Rick was selling any D drum pads. I guess you're building a kit, a tribute kit. Well, I think we have a pile in the locker. I think so. I can't remember. I know we have a bunch of Acu pads. I'll have to see if we have the actual D drum pads or not. I don't recall. I will inquire about that for you though. There are certain pieces that the band wants to keep for like historical senses. I'm not sure that the giant pile of those pads Rick cares about. I mean, we have the Hysteria kit, we have that Simmons Beast from Hell, and a bunch of other stuff over the years. I don't know if he necessarily wants to keep a bunch of spare pads, because we've got even with the Simmons kit, there's still all the backup pads are all there. So we have the one he actually used on stage, and then the spares. If he's interested in getting rid of them, I will PM you on that one, and we'll figure all that fun jazz out. But it'll probably be a few days before I talk to Rick. This week is really all about getting our sea container packed up for South America, so I'll probably be calling the boss till later in the week. I think that's it really about questions. Let me see if I've missed anything the last couple days. Mainly all about... it's kind of a couple comments about me moving, which is getting more and more likely to happen. Hopefully I will get the final word from my prospective roommate. This is actually going to happen, because I'm getting more and more into the idea of getting out of the mountains and being social and all that fun jazz. Although it will make my work commute a bit longer, because Marina Del Rey is a lot farther than I need to drive from where I am now. But whatever. I'll be by the beach during the day, so I don't care. Or in the evening, able to walk over and sea breeze, kind of nice. Plus, everything else is within walking distance, like a good bar. So that's kind of about it. I guess I'm going to probably head in pretty early tomorrow, and we're gonna hopefully finish up the last little bits and bobs. I got a couple things I got to ship out tomorrow for some repair stuff for our B rig, and then a couple last minute things I got sorting out, because I'm moving some things around between the rigs to make sure my spares all line up. We haven't used the B rig in about a year and a half, 2 years, I think. It was Australia actually last time we used a B rig. So I need to make sure I've got all the spares that I've raked and pillaged into the A rig back in the B rig, so I'm not screwed when I can go to prep that next week. That gear won't leave for Mexico, obviously, until we're in South America, but I want to make sure that I have the prep done. And once our A rig is gone, I'll have the room in our warehouse to do the B rig. But that's the early morning plan. Gonna meet with my friend Pete Lewis tomorrow for coffee, which is cool. Pete's a fellow roadie, awesome individual. I see him about once every couple of years, so it'll be kind of cool to catch up with him. And then we're gonna start doing our great sea container pack, or at least the planning of the pack. We as our gear is super tight. The plan Wolfie and I have is to literally build the entire pack outside the sea container, measure it off, and make sure we can fit. Cause it's going to be a floor to ceiling, wall to wall. Not quite credit card pack, but pretty close to getting that tight. So we're going to try to plan that out a full day in advance, just to make sure we're not screwed. And yourselves plenty of time to call a production manager, go, if we are indeed screwed. Which won't be. We'll make it happen. So that's gonna be my day tomorrow, and then I was supposed to go shoot tomorrow. I don't know if I mentioned that yesterday, but I was supposed to go shoot tomorrow, and got a call from the model. She wants to postpone for a week, which is actually awesome, because I need the day to go to work. A little bummed about that, but she's actually very not a flaky model, really good friend of mine, Catherine Weiss. If you probably see some of her shots on my Instagram page or Facebook. Super awesome person, just amazing human being, and fantastic model. She's an art model. Like, she goes to classes, or she'll do stuff like for Disney. She'll dress up in some warrior costume, and Disney animators will do sketches on stuff for whatever Disney does. But so we were gonna go shooting up the mountains, but we're gonna push it off to next week. So that will probably be my next photo shoot. I am itching to do another one. I'm actually itching to do some more video projects too. Just a little less filming of me, maybe something a little more exciting, working with other people. Hopefully that will be able to get on that this weekend after everything is squared away with leopard stuff, and I get back to my regular scheduled program for another month. All right, well, I'm now 10 minutes of rambling. If you guys are still with me, I appreciate it. For those of you who left, well, I don't care about you anyways. Nah, that's not true, I do. But I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you happen to be.